You're listening to In My Humble Opinion with Maxilia Robinson and Charles Lewis. Only on 101.3 Jams.
IMHO Talk Show. Still here, still standing, y'all. Still in the building as promised. And we're so excited to make it to this final hour. Sir Charles, Miss Max, Aaron Razor. And we got a house full, but I love it because we are, as promised, we're talking to a group that brought the city together on a whole nother level, right? It's such a beautiful thing to see, and they're going to dig into it and tell us about, the inspiration behind it and all the great things they've done and what's keeping them going. So, joined by none other than the Prolyfyck Run Crew, my brothers. Good to see y'all. Thank y'all for joining us.
What's going on, bro?
Yeah.
What's up?
Thanks for having us, bro.
Man, you know it, man. It's a pleasure, ours, to see the good work that y'all doing and the unity that you guys are bringing. I'm going to kind of open the floor to y'all because I know Will was saying that he definitely wanted to have Littles and Chris on, because like the foundation to this thing is strong and we can tell as a community. So I wanted to first let y'all each, introduce yourselves, and then maybe Littles if he wants to go ahead and talk about the inspiration behind starting this group.
Yeah, man. So for those that don't know me, my name is James Dow, but everybody calls me Littles. I go by Littles. And 2 years ago, 2019, I came into this journey, man. For those that know, Will Barber. So that's where I knew Will my whole life as a kid. And he invited me out, man. I'm just like everybody else that came out there. That came out and ran, man. I was just like, one of the first few, one of the foundation, the core. And he told me, him and Wes got me out there, I think it was like April 2019. Man, it was a Friday night, it was raining. And I hated it. I hated every bit of it. But I'm from Charlottesville. I grew up here. I was the youth growing up in the inner city, going to city schools, and I never imagined myself doing anything like that. And it was right after that day, man. It was amazing running through those neighborhoods, running through Hardy Drive, South First Street, and man, it was special. That feeling that I felt running through there was different. And I knew at that point, man, what we could build would be something organic, naturally, and that the city need. And at that time, we already had the route. Will and Wes already kind of had a foundation for the route. And I I enjoyed it so much, I kind of pushed it on my own, like personally, like nothing, like Will and everybody was still doing that. But it was like a personal thing that I felt I wanted to push on my own so others could come out there and see that I was doing it. Will and them had already been running, so, I was new to it. I didn't run in high school. It was nothing like I was trying to, outlive a college dream or anything. Like, I hated running. I still, to this day, I think it's stupid. Man, it's stupid.
It says a lot, though.
Yeah, it's like, Chris could tell you, Chris Cochran that's on here, when we doing distance, man, I tell them, don't tell me how far we running, man. I don't want to know I'm at miles now.
Cut you out quick.
Yeah, I don't want to know that. So, but, man, it tells you how special it is. And, 2020, fast forward a year later, I ran my first half. Will ran his first half as far as like an official race. And then he did his first whole. Okay. And after that, like me and Will, like, believe it or not, we hadn't even like really had a real conversation about what we was building, man. It was so organically, it was so naturally, That's man. Dope. We was just doing it because, we didn't look at it like, a job or anything, it was what we just love to do. It's like, just linking up with your homies and going and play basketball. It was just like that. Right. And me and him, man, we had a real heart-to-heart talk, how much it meant to me and him and everybody else as well. We went from there. But that's kind of how, I came on board with, moving it forward and everything like that.
That's dope. So you said Will and Chris a lot, but I'm sure there's some listeners who have no idea who Will and Chris is. Yeah. So who want to step up to the mic first? I guess Will, you want to formally introduce yourself, bro?
Let's let Chris talk.
Chris? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, let me talk, because Will's going to be way longer than mine. I'm going to keep this to about a minute, man, and Will gonna bless the people. Littles know you don't really want to talk behind Will after after any run. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. And get my little piece out and hand the mic over to Will.
Why he do you like that?
Long-winded, but deep conversation.
Hey, they get real deep, and touch the people, man. So yeah, let me get my spill out, y'all. My name's Chris Cochran. I originally from Buckingham County. Went to VCU for undergrad. Went to Liberty to get my master's. Moved to Charlottesville in 2015. So I've been here for about 6 years. And Will was always my barber. His image where I got my hair cut when I first moved to Charlottesville. And me and Will would have a lot of deep conversations in the shop. And I just kind of liked I liked Will's energy.
Right.
We related on a lot of different things. But back then it was more than just running. It was health. We would talk about wellness and food and herbs and supplements. And Will was just somebody I never really got a chance to kick it with as much as I wanted to. Like, we never could find that time and that space for each other. So when he invited us, started inviting people out for the route, I would do it every now and then, but it wasn't anything that I was doing consistently. So I ended up coming back out in like April, and that it just kind of took off from there. I fell in love with it, every single day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I was out there. Then we started running on the weekends. And Will is, if you know Will, he's a visionary, and he has these visions for himself. And he's constantly pushing himself to evolve and not, stay the same person. And that's something that we relate to in a very deep way, because I'm, somebody that's very similar. So Will comes up with these crazy things that he kind of manifests, and I'm always like the little brother, like, yeah, let's do that. That's dope. Let's do that. So we just, just kind of go along with it. So all the way down to the first marathon that we ran last November in Richmond. But yeah, just just wanting to support a brother that's doing the right thing, and Will is very transparent. He's organic. And I think, he stands for and is a really great leader for our community. So just wanting to kind of be out there. And, if he died, I always tell him I'm going to die with him. We're going to do the dumb stuff together. We'll die together. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a lot I could get into, but I won't. Yeah. I'll pass the mic off to Mr. William Jones and let him take over.
Yeah. Now, talking about long-winded though, we got Dr. Bellamy on the line too. So Will may want to default to him, and we can have a battle on who's gonna talk longer. What's up, brother Wes?
That's my hero.
You got it.
Let my hero talk.
That's my man. That's why I pick with him. They say you pick on people.
No. Let Will go, man. Let Will go. I'm enjoying hearing some of these stories. Like, we all talk about, but hearing these stories it's different. So because I think my interpretation of how we started this is going to be different from Will's, because I'm more along the line of, this is really stupid, and Will thought this was therapeutic. So go ahead, Will.
All right. The man of the hour, Mr. Will Jones.
Yo. I'm not sure what I'm speaking on for real.
From the heart, baby.
Yeah, we got started. Y'all know, when I first moved here, I was on Ridge Street, cutting in the shop. Then we moved to Cherry Avenue. So I was actually in the hood when I was in those shops. And when I opened my first shop out on 29, it changed the dynamic a little bit. And I didn't get to see the kids walking through. I didn't get to touch like the natives of the city anymore in the same way. And so I really unconsciously just was like, you know what? I'm gonna run the hoods. And I just put the hoods together, the hoods that I knew of, because I'm aware that I ain't touch all of them. But the hoods that were popular when I first moved here and that I knew of, like that stood out, I went and I parked at the church, and I literally started at First Street, and I said, I'm gonna connect as many as I can. And I wasn't like no long distance runner, but it was like, I don't care how long it is, I'm gonna put at least these few together. It ended up being like close to 4 miles. And it was tough, but that was the reason that I did it. I took my dog with me.
Yeah.
I would take some of my homies, like, at that time, Jim was around and Travis was around. and we would be trying to work out MMA type stuff, and so we would get out and we would run. And so that's when I started running that route. And after a while, it was like, man, we got, like, I think this is dope, Wes. We need to, like, we never seen a run for our people, like that went through our neighborhoods. I ran the Charlottesville 10 miler, and that joint was like, this is really dope to see the people come out in their neighborhoods and like they chilling and they playing instruments and stuff. And I was like, we need to have this going through our neighborhoods.
That's right.
So our people could see us, because I had spent some time in Maryland before I moved here, and black people were taking care of themselves in that way. Like they were on the streets running. And I never seen that before. And then when I moved here, I only seen white people doing it. And I was like, we got to change that, man. Like I could run. Like I could get out here and do that. And so it was therapeutic to like challenge myself. But then it just evolved, man.
Right.
It evolved, and I kind of like I got introduced to barefoot running, and that really like it connected in spiritual ways for me that made it go beyond just pounding the pavement and showing our people something, but it started to heal me in certain ways that other things wouldn't, like sitting still and meditating wouldn't help me.
I remember we was talking about the fila shoes with the skeletos. Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Charles, before you go, because I can feel yours coming, right? You do a lot of things in your heart. You and your wife do a lot of things for the culture, right? Yeah. How does it feel when a lot of what you're doing for the culture embodies other people that don't look like us? Yeah. And sometimes they're more the catalyst for growth than our own people. Yeah. I know you think a little different.
Yeah, nah.
Even though you don't always put your feelings out there,
yeah,
I can tell because I'm cut from that cloth. So how do you, let me ask you on air, how do you feel about that?
So when I started doing Kwanzaa events here, like going to them, it was always disappointing that it was more white people there than black people. You know, what I had to grow to accept was that there are some white people that really genuinely care, and they are trying to learn about us. And it's unfortunate that they have more of the means to have the time to be present at those type of events.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like that's privilege for them to be able to be there. It's privilege that allows me to be able to be there. All of us don't have that time. Yeah. All of us don't have the opportunity to be present or the understanding of like what that actually means, because nobody has really opened their eyes up to it. So I just have accepted that in this city, like white people are going to gravitate to our stuff when it's healthy because it's dope. Yeah. Like like we should. It just shouldn't be outnumbered, but it is outnumbered because our community here, Charlottesville, holds on to a certain population of people who aren't afforded the opportunity.
Is that demographic or mindset?
I think it's both. I think demographic creates a mindset, honestly. I think that when you impoverished, you are like focused on the grind. Gotcha. You focused on surviving. Like I ain't got no time to be running. That feel like leisure time.
Feel like work.
That feel like, why am I doing extra work to my body when it don't make sense? But when we could take a step away and slow down, beating our body up on purpose makes us stronger. And so if we could just find the time to beat our bodies up on purpose in that way, we're going to get time on the back end because we're going to have more energy. We're going to have more endurance. We're going to have more of everything. Like,
do you find yourself tapping into the African side of it? Because, you know, we're sprinters, right?
Yeah.
That's what we think over here in America.
That's what we think.
But the long distance runners are from over in the motherland.
Yeah, man, we got people that chase animals to death.
Oh, my bad, Wes. I'm just over here having fun.
That's a good conversation. Go ahead, Wes.
No, like I think.
Oh, hey Wes, you cut out on us, bro. We have to get you to a stable spot. You cut out on us, but but ladies and gentlemen,
lost in the wilderness.
Yes.
Hey,
Wilderness himself is in the building. Let me get you a chair, man. Come on, respect
yes.
my elders,
so for those who don't know what just happened,
my elders.
the man, Ahmad Ballhawk Hawkins is in the building. Ahmad Ballhawk Hawkins is in the building. How you doing, brother? Like you ain't no stranger to the airwaves either, so you already know the routine.
You know you ain't no stranger.
I'm doing well, man. Here my brothers, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Gray sweatpants.
That's just what it. Yo, littles. We ain't gonna do this right now. Yo,
hey man, appreciate you joining us, man. But like, if you want, everybody was giving their introduction for those who may not know you, which is probably nobody, right, in Charlottesville.
No, they don't. I don't look at myself in that light, man.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But my name is Amaya Hawkins. I'm originally from Newport News, Hampton area. Went to UVA, played football here. My wife is Crystal Hawkins, who formerly Crystal Tenser. She went to Charlottesville High School. Okay. So played professionally, but we decided to make Charlottesville our home base because he's from here. So it's been an awesome ride, man. I came part of Prolyfyck last year. Is this Wes behind me too?
Yeah, man. I mean, like he was talking and cut out.
He was just on the Zoom, right?
Right, yeah, he was.
Yo, yeah. Why y'all doing me like this? I know y'all ain't do each other like this. That's how they treat me, man. But yeah, man, I came a part of Prolyfyck. What was it, last March? Yeah, March last year once the pandemic hit. Because I did the 4 miler, and I used to watch Will and them from afar and say them jokers running real fast. I'm a sprinter, so I don't do all this long distance running. But it was therapeutic, man. So I just started doing it with the guys and started challenging myself. And I retired from football, so I needed to let that aggression out. Because a lot of times when football players, when they retire from the sport, man, they got to fill that void because we got a lot of screws loose. So I might laugh and smile, but I deal with a lot of demons each and every day. And I got tired of playing at North Grounds and being angry on the basketball court. So running my house is actually more therapeutic for myself. So it helps me better connect with my students too. You know what I'm saying? I understand their struggles a lot, but I had to get it out myself. And running 5, 6, 10 miles is very helpful for my mentals. Because like I said, man, I played football in my life, so I got to just destroy folks and let my aggression out that way. You know, whether it was something going on at home or something that pissed me off. So now running allows me to let out my rage. So that's what I do.
I feel you, man. Thank you for that. And Dr. Bellamy, you know, go ahead and finish with your thoughts, my man.
It's easier now that I'm here.
Right.
But I was like, it's something that shut up. Man. It's something that I think that raises question in regards to one. There's often other people who are kind of partaking in our culture rather than us. I'll never forget when we were running one day and Little's, this was early on, this is probably pre-pandemic, and Little said, we were running through Prospect and he said, yo, I've been living here my whole life and I never ran or jogged through these streets. And the connection that I have, like, this just feels different, like I'm from here. Like this feels different, I live here. And I've often felt that way by like living off of Prospect, and when we're out and we're seeing our people, sometimes we think that like in order for individuals to be participants, they have to be actively working with us or partaking. Right. Participation comes in a wide variety of ways. So for a lot of us, participation is them when we're coming through West Haven, they're outside. Yo, keep going. When we're coming up the hills on Prospect, and this is 6:30 in the morning, people are outside actively cheering us on. That's participation. It's love. When we're just jogging, sometimes when we're just like doing the thing on a random day, like we ran this morning, and you're seeing people outside. I often run by myself. You're seeing people outside and they're like, yo, keep going. Yo, we're proud of you. They just throw the fist up. Yo, love you, man. Keep going. Like that there in itself, that's participation, because not everything is for everyone. Right. And we need to be, I think that's something that we can also continue to appreciate and show love for and through, because that is showing our folks as being active participants. They may not run, they may not jog the 6-7 miles, they may not run the 4 miles, they may not walk the 4 miles or 3 miles, whatever. But they're consistently showing love, and that is how they give back, and that's how they're participating. So let's appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, fellas, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll get right back to it, talking about some of your accomplishments, and with the unity that's come to the city, and then maybe some future plans, goals you got for the group. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. It's our pleasure to be joined by brothers from the Prolyfyck Run Crew here on IMHO. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Be right back. IMHO Talk Show. Still here, still standing, y'all, with the brothers from Prolyfyck Run Crew. And man, it's definitely been a delight and a pleasure so far. Getting everybody's background on this group, the origins of it and where it is now. And we definitely want to talk about some of the vision now that you see what this thing could be, maybe ways you could take it. But we do have, looks like a couple more members of the Run Crew that has graced us with their presence. So go ahead and give you the opportunity to step up and introduce yourself to the listening audience.
So my name is Ben Campbell. I am from Charlottesville, and I'm just part of I'm part of the walk crew, not necessarily the run crew.
I feel you. So if you like, we asked everybody too, like what the organization kind of means to them, like from when you first started, how your expectations versus the reality once you got involved with the crew.
So I didn't really have any expectations about the run crew itself. I was part of Prolyfyck before the run crew started, and so there was different expectations. I didn't really have expectations specifically around the run crew. In fact, I had not anticipated really joining the run crew. I had some injuries and some old nagging injuries that kind of prevented me mentally more than anything to participate in the run. And then the run crew really helped inspire me, especially the barefoot story that Will was kind of touching on earlier. That kind of inspired me to get involved a little bit, started walking, and I have actually started running, but I'm not running with the crew at this point. Okay. I'm doing more independent running. Not yet, at least.
I feel you. Good
I didn't have expectations as far as the crew was concerned. I have expectations as far as Prolyfyck is concerned and the impact that we can make on the community.
That's awesome. Now, speaking of the impact, though, like were y'all surprised, by once it became multicultural and diverse, and then like once that happened, like how has that changed sort of the vision for what you do?
Well, I would say like when we originally started it, we were talking about our people running through our communities, showing love to each other, and I think we've accomplished that goal. But as you grow, we want to try to show something different to the community. And it's very clear that as we're building organically, you can't just, it's impossible essentially if we're trying to build something that shows unity. We're trying to educate other individuals, not only about our struggles, but educate ourselves about the influences of other people and other cultures in that regard. It's going to grow. We've had several news stories. UVA has sent out email news blasts about us and whatnot. So quite naturally, more people are going to come in, and that's what we want. So when we talked about when we had our initial four miler, when we did the turkey trot, as we've been going as a crew and doing these other events, and we have some more events coming up, we want more people to join us, and that's essentially what this is about.
Awesome. It's definitely a good look from our perspective, and I've heard other people talking about it. Is like by seeing y'all in the news and seeing it be the group that is grown to be, has exceeded a lot of people's expectations, and it's good for the city. Would you agree? Like to be able to see that unity is for Charlottesville is a good look.
Yeah, I think the reality is that like we live in a world where we have other cultures around, and so if we want to actually be the change, like if we actually want this world to be better for our children, we can't exclude people who want to be a part of something good, who actually want to be a part of the change. Now, if you don't want to be a part of the change, then we gonna keep it funky, because like we are open to everybody being out there, but we are like going to be true to our people, and we going to say what's important, and we going to hold people accountable in ways that's important. And then we also going to do that for somebody else too. So we don't just, run for us. We run for other people, for other people's families. We run we really care about the people that come out there. And so I think that's the way the world should be. So if we kept it exclusive, I'm not opposed to people having their exclusive stuff, but in this city with what we're doing, like it don't need to be exclusive. It needs to be inclusive. It needs to it needs to tell everybody's story in a way, but it does need to be led by us. That's important for us, for it to continue to be led by us.
Big fact.
While also including everybody else's opinion, because we value everybody. We like real humans. We ain't like weird.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And also speaking on like the organic the authenticity from that's going on out there. Like, I don't think a lot of people really understand that what we was doing out there with 5 people, we are doing the exact same thing out there today. Like, this wasn't like no marketing scheme on how this thing can grow, how this thing can become bigger. You know, like on a weekly basis. Oh, we need this many posts. We need to advertise to this many people. Like, it was never that approach to it. We've been approaching it the same way when it was just Will and Wes out there, when it was 5 of us out there. You know, on a weekly basis, we had if we had 10 to 12 people out there back in 2019, that was a huge crowd. Like, that was the biggest that we have seen. So
it's packed today.
Yeah, it's packed. Yeah, we taking pictures like, yo, we deep. Like, yeah.
It's 12 of us, yo.
Man, when NBC first came out there, I think it was like 15 people out there, and man, it was the biggest. Yeah. But we have not changed the approach. Like, we have literally, you know, it's naturally been happening.
Right.
Like, when after post-pandemic, and we went out there, and I think it was May or June, and, you know, 30 people showed up. It was the same approach from pre-pandemic. And then, you know, one Friday when we show up and it's 50 to 70 people.
No. We've always had less than 50. There's been 49 people. We have never had more than 49 people. Let me be clear. Let me say this again. We have never had, during the pandemic, more than 49 people participating.
Last Friday plus the other Friday, 50 plus 50 is 100, Wes. Everybody knows math. 49 plus 49 is what?
Right.
90. Exactly.
Right.
Relax, bro. Relax. We got this.
There you go.
Hey, Ms. Max, were you about to chime in?
You know, I wasn't, but I love the project and idea. I mean, what stands out to me the most is just the symbolism. You know, what Prolyfyck represents and stands for. To just see Black bodies, Black male bodies, you know, in synergy, moving to be healthy, moving for positive change. Moving for something greater than themselves, you know, doing it for the bigger picture. And I understand that brings a lot of, it does a lot for the communities that you're running through, but it just does a lot for the culture in general.
Yeah.
See you guys stand up for to stand up for them, right? And to know that they are part of something without being a part of something that's positive in this city and should be viewed as positive. So, you know, it's an awesome project. I appreciate you guys for doing it. And I'm sure you probably never even talked to as many people as you're having an impact on, but trust and believe you are.
That's very true, man. Like, she brings up a great point too, like the whole Black male health thing. Like, because we were talking earlier in the show about, you know, like, we grew up on some folks, our legends, and we kind of close to their ages, and they passing away. You know what I mean? It's like hip hop is to the age as a culture, to where now we're sort of aging out a bit, and it's Black men who then look back and say, man, I may have partied a little too hard. But I'm sure you guys have had those conversations. But when it comes to Black male health, like, who sort of wants to chime in on that, of, you know, with the importance of that? Yeah, I know we got former athletes here, and we have runners.
Go to Chris.
Let the oldest go.
Hey, man, the hell is
Nah, out of respect.
What you mean, like the oldest? Hey,
Respect the elders, bro.
Littles. You've been on the road.
Mr. Donut, bro.
Nah, just out of respect.
Now I am the Chad Johnson of the crew. Like, I am not the health conscious guy, so that's why I didn't want to. I got a donut hat on because I finished my marathon eating a donut. You know what I'm saying?
We can tell that story too.
You can tell the story. I'm not telling my own death story. Is you crazy? But yeah, man. To me, it's more a mental health aspect. Like, I reiterate, when I played football, like, my upbringing, it wasn't the best. So I got an opportunity to channel it in a certain way, you know? And that's all I had for over 30 years, is how to channel my anger through a sport. Never through communication, never sitting with a psychiatrist and somebody helping me. I had a sport. And when I retired, it was a void. And I was still angry. I knew how to mask it. You know, I could joke around with a lot of folks, but nobody ever knew the demons that I dealt with each and every morning when I got up without that void. So, you know, Will cut my hair for about 2 years?
Yeah.
But we never really talked. he brought this to my attention. Like, I knew you, but I didn't know you.
Right.
And the only time he would see the true me come out is when Biscuit would come around. Marcus Hagans, Coach Marcus Hagans at UVA.
Yep.
He said that's when I would truly get a true glimpse of you, because he comes from my hometown. You know, he's like blood to me, so he would see a different side of me come out. And he didn't get to see that side until I came out with Prolyfyck, because I could let my rage out. It was safe to be myself, because too many times we got to be guarded. You got to be PC. You got to be professional. You got to brand. You can't just say what you want. And I get frustrated. Like, I just want to let Petty Hawk just fire off on everybody. So Prolyfyck was my way of dealing with my demons. And then these guys truly became my brothers. Like, I'm my only child. So relationships mean a lot to me. So once they saw that side of me, and my aunt died, Aunt Laverne passed away, how they galvanized around myself and my family, that blew me away, bro. Because there's always strings attached anytime somebody befriends you these days. Like, it's always, how can you help me? It was not like that with them.
That's dope.
I started to open myself up with them through texts and things like that. And it was like, everybody has to understand that Prolyfyck, we work for a cause, not for applause. Like, when you join and you come in on a run, like, everybody has their struggles, and we're trying to help you deal with your struggles, because we have our own struggles, and you are inspiring me by overcoming your struggles and your fears, because it's nerve-wracking coming out there the first couple of times, because these jokers be running fast. Like, this joker barefooted running fast, you know, and then he rapping Jeezy and stuff, scaring people. You know?
With his shirt off.
Yeah. And then this guy like is a mobile Martin Lawrence from back in the day. So and then he don't like when you call him Kevin Hart, so I'm not gonna do that because he might curse. But you know, James is an awesome human being.
They're gonna be in here thumping in a minute. What's the next question?
But anybody else want to chime in on that?
You know, one thing that has changed. No, come on, Will. I'll just say real quick. Like, one thing that has changed from the beginning. So we do, you know, I think we do a great job of showing a wide variety of leadership. People, I think, initially come and they think that it's going to be, you know, one particular person or two particular people who are going to speak, but we share the load. To the sisters, shout out to Kat and Sarah and, you know, my wife, Ashley, and, you know, everyone else who comes and participates. But what we have added since our original inception, if you will, is kind of a breakdown of community events in which little, you know, runs through, hey, this is what's going on in the community. Be cognizant of X, Y, and Z. Because there's a lot of people who don't get that information. So we're tapped in and tuned in a wide variety of different ways. Chris Cochran does similar. And then from an inspirational perspective, Ball Hawk always breaks it down, if you will, similar like a football chant, but kind of giving you the extra motivation of the day. So that's what I think is so infectious. I mean, people are, one, coming in and being galvanized by the energy, but furthermore, when they leave or when they're sent off of something very positive. And that's the therapeutic piece. That's from the mental health piece. That's also the physical health piece, and also the inclusivity piece. Go ahead.
Some big words they using too.
On purpose. On purpose.
You use one too.
Some real big words.
I definitely said it wrong.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, look, I want to say this to y'all real quick though. All right, a lot of times when it, you know, you have, I'm one of the black males that, you know, I was exercising, but I was watching y'all when y'all first got started. I was talking to Wes, talking to Will, you know, talking to you, and to see what y'all are doing, and to be able to admire it from the side without feeling like y'all have created something as a black group that I can't be part of, even though I'm not out there, right? Is very rare. Y'all are speaking without saying a word. You understand what I'm saying? So what, and this is not to exclude you, my man, or anything, just because I'm talking to them because they're black men, but to see this transforming and growing and start to get national attention and New York writing about you and to be able to say, I know that dude. Like, I literally can pick up the phone and call that guy. You know what I'm saying? Say, I want to come out there, and they'll accept you. Even if we don't take that, it's very inspiring to not just the younger generation that we always like to say, let's give them something to follow, but the older people that just like, I'm an only child just like you, deal with demons every day. You know what I'm saying? I found ways to deal with mine and to when we start talking about these particular things, we get a chance to understand that I'm not as alone as I may have thought. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So when it comes to watching y'all, man, like, never stop running. If y'all ever do stop running, find somebody to take your place. You understand what I'm saying? That's how we grow. That's how we keep this thing going. You know, because some people physically can't get out there with you and do it, but trust and believe, their heart and emotions and their soul is with every step that y'all take. All right?
That's deep. Yeah, man.
Will was gonna say something.
You still have something on that? On the health tip?
You won't talk unless you make them. That's a fact. Or you cut them off. Hey, yo, chill. Hey, yo, go ahead.
Get deep, real deep. I think that it's important that, like, a lot of us stop playing sports once we graduate high school. Yep. And so if you're not a professional athlete, you don't play no more. Or if you ain't have a ball game that was tight, like, you can't keep playing when you in your 20s. And when you 30, you pretty much washed. And so I think for a person like myself, I'm 39 this year. And, like, I'm probably in the best shape of my life. And so I think running gives us an opportunity as black men to return to some sort of athleticism that doesn't have to stop. Like, yeah, we gonna get hurt and we'll probably have some injuries, but if we do this right, I think we can run forever. And so I think our bodies are made to run. So if we return to some sort of way that's, like, healthy for us, we could do this for forever, and that can fix a lot of our issues, because our bodies are made to move. And because our bodies aren't moving as men, we like holding on to a bunch of BS. And so if we use our bodies the way they were intended and created to be used, then I think that we'll be in better spaces mentally and better spaces emotionally, just by default, like, from using your body, like all the other animals of the world do. Like, that's a thing that I think is important for us.
I feel you, bro. Thank you for that.
And if you want something about healthy foods, though, Chris Cochran, you know, he looking like Chris Brown smiling, but yo, he for real, man. He's aware, so you got to tap into Chris.
Yes, sir.
Charles, I'll just say, you know, for me, I'm a counselor. I'm a counselor at Monticello, a school counselor. And a lot of the stuff that we preach on a daily basis as counselors or therapists or psychiatrists is, you know, about being holistic and you know, just kind of being all inclusive in what we do with our bodies, from what we put in it to what we do with it. Like Will said, you know, we need to be physical. I think we all have to get some kind of physical activity in. And like I've heard a couple of the guys reiterate the point that, you know, running isn't for everybody. You know, it takes a level of being uncomfortable to come out, as Ball Hawk said earlier. But, you know, just from, you know, being able to kind of share resources with the other guys in the group. We have the basic conversations, like how much water we should get. You know, I'm constantly reminding Wes to get enough sleep at night because he's always so busy. You know, just those simple things. And I talked to you earlier, I kind of mentioned earlier, you know, me and Will Littles, Hawk, I'm always inspiring Hawk. We talking about black seed oil and, you know, sea moss and, you know, just different things like that, trying to, you know, just put things in our bodies that weren't necessarily taught to us. We've had to, you know, kind of go out and do our research and figure those things out. But run is a big part. I think community is a big part. We need, you know, we need each other, especially during a pandemic. So, you know, mental health, physical health, all of it kind of ties together. Getting enough sleep at night, like I said. But yeah, it's definitely all inclusive. I definitely try to take care of my body. I got a 3-year-old son. I want to be around with him for as long as I can. One of my biggest fears is him being able to, you know, just do anything that's, you know, as a black man would see as disrespectful. You know, in a certain light. I don't want him to ever be able to dunk on me. I don't want him to be faster than me. He's not be foot race, none of that. You know what I mean? Like he not none of that. He's not going on the slide faster than me. He's not doing more jumping jacks, any of that. So I think, you know, just from a competitive standpoint, just being able to kind of, you know, push him, being able to get down on the ground and, you know, move around with him. All those things are, you know, really, really important and kind of imperative for all of us.
That's
I think
right.
I speak for everybody when I say stuff like that.
That's right, man. Thank you for sharing that. So, brothers, we are up against the hour. We got Clee coming in with the Soul Cafe next. But just let the people know if they want to look at next steps, the vision going forward from this great work. And we'll definitely have y'all back. But just let us know real quick how to reach out to y'all. What's the social media or the contact?
Prolyfyck Run Crew. That's crew with 2 W's. Facebook and Instagram. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the Jefferson School, 6 o'clock. 5:50 walkers leave. 6 o'clock cruisers leave. 6:10 runners leave. 6:13 West leave because he always late. That's it, baby. Let's get it. We out of here. We here, baby. Prolyfyck Run Crew. Turn up on them.
All right, brothers. We will catch y'all next time. We appreciate y'all. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, bro.
All right.
Love black men.